back to my channel. So before we begin today's video, I just want to give some updates on what's to come on my YouTube channel and some exciting things that's going to happen. So basically, let's start off with my channel name. As you guys have noticed, my channel name has changed. So before it was Miss Simple 82, now it's Jessica Lights, and I just want to explain why I did that. Now that I have free time because nursing school is done with, I want to take my YouTube channel more serious, so I needed to update my YouTube channel. And Jessica, you know, my name. And then Lights because I wanted to incorporate nursing with it, but I didn't want to do the, you know, like Nurse Jessica, like things like that. So basically what I thought of was how we in healthcare, how we make a difference in patients' lives. And the way how I think of it is we always brighten up their day. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a nursing assistant, a nurse, a doctor, literally anyone. It can be anyone from like pharmacy, lab, EVS. Doesn't matter where you work in healthcare, but like we make a difference in their lives and we brighten up their days. And I love it when I get to do that for my patients. So that's where Lights come from, because we brighten up their days. So that's where that came from. So Jessica Lights, my new channel name. Second update is that I made an Instagram. If you guys want to go ahead and follow me there, some of you have already found it. But yeah, I'll insert it here and then also in the description box if you guys want to check it out. I'll be posting there daily, you know, on IG stories. I can pop on there. It's like quick and easy. And then my third update is that hopefully, you know, this is my goal, that I'll be posting weekly on here. So every Wednesday, I don't know what time yet, but every Wednesday there'll be a new video on my channel. Once I think of the time, I'll put it in the description box or I'll pop it here on the screen. But yeah, that's my goal, starting with today's video. Every Wednesday, new video. Okay, so now we can jump into the video. So today's video is how I passed my NCLEX on the first try. And to be honest, like I already had this video in mind, but after passing my NCLEX, I passed it at 236 questions. And if you guys want to check out like the day of when I took it and a couple days after, I'll link it in the cards and down in the description box. But basically I felt kind of like sad because I didn't pass at 75. I passed, even though I did pass, but I passed at 236, and ooh, it was like a whole ordeal. But you guys were messaging me asking for this video on what I used, and you guys were like sending me messages saying that, you know what, you passed, that's all that matters, and you guys really wanted to see this, so this video is for you. So thank you for that. I'm gonna start with the books that I use, starting off with this one right here, which is a Saunders book. If you guys have been following me for like since the beginning of my nursing school time, I love this book. I didn't really use this like review the whole thing, but basically what I would do is that if there was any topic that I wasn't familiar with, like OB and peds and mental health, you know, that was like second and third semester for me, and those are like very specific topics that I don't really remember, so I would use this as a kind of like a refresher. And really, what I really like about this is that it gives you like the highlights of each topic. It doesn't explain like the whole like a broad information. It's just very specific and the highlights of what you need to know to answer NCLEX style questions, and that's what I used. And what I also used was this book, and this book was kind of like it came from the Kaplan review course that my school had signed us up for. If you guys didn't know, throughout my nursing school, my school used Kaplan. I know some people use is it ATI, I think, but we ended up using Kaplan, and to be honest, I did not like it throughout nursing school because the rationales just did not make sense to me. I know some people swear by it, and if it works for you, you know, kudos to you, but for me personally, it just didn't work out. But part of the 3-day course was, you know, the live session, plus we got this book and we got some online stuff, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But basically This book is kind of similar to this one, where it gives you like the main highlights of each topic. So again, if I didn't know a certain topic, if I needed a refresher, I would use this book, and also with this one, I would use it back and forth. But I found that this one was like very helpful when it came to like Kaplan questions, which I'll explain a little bit later. But Kaplan like has its own genre of questions, because the way how they're worded is like it's very tricky, you know, like one word can like mess up the whole thing. So yeah, that's what I used the book for. And as far as the 3-day live session, I personally did not like it. Like I said, it was 3 days. I only went for like a day and a half because literally all we were doing is how to answer NCLEX style questions. And after day 1, I was like, okay, if this is the same thing on day 2 and day 3, I'm just gonna go home. I can do this at home. So day 2 rolls around. So day 2 rolls around and it's basically the same thing. And when we went to lunch, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go home. The way how they taught us was using the Kaplan's decision tree, and if it works for you, you know, kudos to you. But like for me, I just thought it was very strange for us to be learning that at the end, because at that time it was the beginning of January and we knew that we were going to be taking it earliest at the end of January, and we had to learn like a whole different method of how to answer NCLEX style questions. And I was like, you know, I already spent my 2 years figuring out how I answer these questions, so it was kind of hard for me to break that, and I just didn't really like it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go home and do it my way. But when I actually did the NCLEX style questions, like the question banks that they had, it was pretty good. They were still hard. If you've taken any Kaplan style questions, you know how hard they are. And the rationales were better than the ones that were given throughout my nursing school. So I did like that. Also, another cool thing about Kaplan had was that they had 3 CATs. Basically that is computer adaptive testing, which mimics the actual NCLEX exam. So if you guys didn't know, the way how the NCLEX works is that if you answer a question correctly, the next question will be based off on how you answered it. So if you answer it correctly, it gets harder. If you answer it incorrectly, the next question will get easier for you to be above this baseline right here. So all the questions that you answer have to be like above here, and if you start dipping down, you know, it'll start getting easier for you to be up here. So that's how it works. And I took 1 CAT and I actually passed it at 75 questions, so you know, like woohoo, you know, I was really good about it. Also, I think I did most of their trainers. I think they had 7. I did about 6 of them. I didn't even touch their question bank because there was just so many, because once I would finish their trainers, I would always review and, you know, remediate, and that took a while. So that was Kaplan. And then my last one that I used was, if you guys take anything away from this video, get UWorld, because UWorld is amazing. Everyone raves about their rationales, and then now I know why, because they're amazing. They're like awesome. So I ended up purchasing the 3-month plan. It had, you know, their 2,000 question bank, and then also 2, like, I forgot what to call it, but I think it's like a readiness exam. Both of them were 100 questions each, and it was for 3 months. Both of the readiness tests, I got a high chance of passing. And what's really cool about UWorld is that not only can you do it on your computer, on your laptop, but you can also use it on your phone. So if you're on the go, you can just, you know, take a couple questions and then remediate right afterwards. So their rationales are like, they give you pictures, they give you diagrams, like a really good explanation as to why A is correct and why B, C, D is incorrect. And I think UWorld is the one that most looks like the NCLEX. Their question styles, I remember it being very similar to the actual NCLEX, so I thought that was really good. So yeah, if you're gonna do anything out of this video, I just highly recommend that you get UWorld. And my last one were 3 YouTube channels that helped me, again, if I needed to refresh on a certain topic for when I was remediating. I would use these as well as the books that I showed you. One is Registered Nurse RN, Osmosis, and Khan Academy. I used them throughout nursing school, and then I revisited at the end because, you know, it's a long 2 years. You learn so much, and there's things that you just need to refresh yourself on. All right, so I gave myself like a solid month. So after the so let's go back all the way to December. I graduated in December, and I knew the earliest that I would take the NCLEX was at the end of January. That seems to be like the pattern for my school. I live in California, and it takes us a while for us to take it. I know in other states you can take it like the week after you graduate, but not for us, at least not in my area. It could be different in certain areas of California, but at least in my area it takes minimum of like a month for us to get the okay to test. So I took December off. I did not study at all. It felt so good not to like worry about school and finally like relax. And then the Kaplan, the 3-day course was in the beginning of January, so that kind of like set my brain up like, okay, let's get it going, let's get studying. And I believe like maybe 2 weeks after that, well, during those 2 weeks I was studying here at home, you know, at my desk, but like I just honestly could not focus because I would be like, oh well, let me go ahead and wash the dishes, let me go play with my dogs, they need to go for a walk, let me go ahead and clean my room because I can't focus with like clutter. And you know, I would just procrastinate. So I was like, I just need to get it out of the house. So I ended up going to my local library, and I met up with my friend from nursing school, and this held us accountable because we both said to each other, you know what, we needed to be focused. So we ended up going to the library, and that really helped a lot. One, because I can't study in like Starbucks or something like that because I need quiet. And you know, we were in the library, and at my library they actually had study rooms, so it was amazing. So in the beginning I would be studying from like 3 hours, and then by the end I would be studying up to 6 hours. And for like that solid month I would be going to the library 5 times a week, 3 to 6 hours. That's how much I would be studying. And then I don't have it with me, but whenever I would remediate on a question, I would have this notebook and I would take notes on as to why I got the question wrong. Maybe it was like a knowledge based, or I just didn't really understand the question, or I didn't read it right, or things like that. So I would have a notebook and then, you know, jot my remediation process on that notebook. And that's pretty much it. That's all I used. I hope you guys found it helpful, and if you passed, go ahead and leave it in the comments below so we can all celebrate our success. And I think that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!